prophetic word to you this morning is get ready! Get ready!
world and the breath of life in the other world. The Ankh was interchangeable. It's almost the same as the symbol for Venus, which is now the feminine symbol.
So Lucifer told Eve, eat of the fruit and you'll be as God, which is in her mind telling her she will be over her man, but not over just the man, but God himself, the Father. This goes back to Lucifer's original sin, wanting to ascend and be above the Most High. He sold the same lie to Eve. This is where the war started between men and women. And I believe it's when Lucifer put on the red dress to rule this world as the female goddess.
discovery of her bones in 1974, scientists have long wondered what killed our most famous human ancestor, Lucy. Dr. Kappelman says the data allowed his team to understand what Lucy experienced in her final moments.
She's a different species. She's not us, but to provide an emotional connection with her in her death, so that in her death, that death brought her to life.
How did our solar system originate? NASA has launched a new mission to try and answer that question. Lucy, lift.
I know we have still not shattered that highest and hardest glass ceiling, but someday someone will, and hopefully sooner than we might think right now. That highest, hardest glass ceiling this time, thanks to you, it's got about 18 million cracks in it. And it may be hard to see tonight, but we are all standing under a glass ceiling right.
And the glass ceiling the female goddess wants to break is the firmament, so she could be above the Most High God. She is going to destroy the glass ceiling with a male phallic symbol. Now let me show you how she gets her power from the male phallic symbol and why it can be found all over the world. This is where the female goddess gets her power and how she rules the earth. So the crown Lady Liberty wears is a circumcision. That's her cap. And she wears it as a symbol of castrating a male, because to be under the female goddess, worthy of worshiping her, the male must be castrated. And there's many forms of castration, physically and symbolically. So the witch's magic wand is also a cut-off phallic symbol. Also, when the witch rides the broomstick, it is also a symbol of a cut-off phallic symbol. This cut-off phallic symbol is not just about the man himself, but it also is a symbol of castrating the Most High God.
French Revolution has the single breast exposed, which is another common point, but she's also wearing the Phrygian cap, so this red cap with the rounded edge pointed there to the front. So the French Revolution, but will also across much of Europe now. Another extension of the French Revolution was this Universal Declaration of Human Rights. So apart from the all-seeing eye and for instance, the broken chains, the lady on the left holds a broken chain, but here we see on the tip of the spear the Phrygian cap again. So it's one of these symbols you will find quite commonly, and especially in connection to liberty movement. So this is Britannia, English, and this was for the commemoration of the abolishment of slavery. So once again, this freedom and liberation from slavery. And she as well has the red cap. So it's more than French, it's more than English. Again, it's quite ancient. And another, well, in the Americas, so we have Lady Liberty and the Phrygian cap once again. Now, the use of this, the female, or also the goddess as well, there's some connections to there, but they're a little bit extended. So I'm just going to go through the Phrygian cap and just sort of show the importance of it. So here we see like one version of the United States and Lady Liberty, and for instance, and it carried through. So, for instance, in World War One, again, the Phrygian cap, the red hat there.
There are many forms of this circumcision hat, including the fez.
The fez, the national headdress of the Moors since remote antiquity.
Most important moments. After Osiris was murdered and dismembered by Set, Osiris's jealous younger brother, Osiris's hacked-to-pieces body is scattered to the four corners of Egypt. Eventually, Isis and her sister Nephthys recovered every piece and reconstituted the body. That is, every piece was found except for the penis, which was tossed into the Nile, eaten by fish, and had to
And its phallus being eaten by a fish connects with the siren mother, the fish god. And this all ties into why the Pope wears the fish head and why the Catholic Church really is a form of original Babylon worship. And they worship the siren mother, the female goddess, the fish god. And here you can see the Pope praying to the female goddess. And he is symbolically castrated also. And what crime are these Catholic priests mostly known for? We all know it. I'm not going to say it. I don't want my video banned, but we know the crime they perform on little boys. And that is also a form of castrating to the female goddess. Castrating the male child.
Young, we wanted to be epic. We rode on the backs of dragons and dreamt of flying cars. We were taught that power was nothing more than being the strongest guy in the room. But brute strength was not enough. We had to learn grace. We found that staying true to who you are is all that matters. That balance isn't found, it's created. And the ability to reinvent ourselves is the most human trait of all. All this to grow fearless, so that when we got the chance, we could deliver that flying car and once again ride on the backs of dragons.
Flammas eius, Lucifer matutinus inveniat. Ille inquam Lucifer qui nescito casum, Christus filius tuus, qui regressus ab inferis, humano generis serenus iluxit, et tecum vivit et regnat in saecula saeculorum.
Chapter 3. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden God hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die, for God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together, and made themselves aprons. And they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden. And the Lord God called unto Adam, and said unto him, Where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, Who told thee that thou wast naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? And the man said, The woman whom thou gavest to be with me gave me of the tree, and I did eat. And the Lord God said unto the woman, What is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. And the Lord God said unto the serpent, Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel.
One day, Jesus is coming. You may be at church. You may be at work. You may be asleep. God grant that you will be ready when he makes his personal appearance. My God, what if his appearance occurs on a Sunday morning? My prophetic word to you this morning is get ready.